Yes,
Yes.
yes, there was when she was about 12, 13, was it?
Yeah.
And we said, well, fair enough. Just write a list of all the things that are good about what you do, and all the things that you've bad about what you do, and then you decide. And when she looked at her list that she'd written, she decided that she wanted to continue playing.
The next day she turned around and said, I'm going to keep playing. 3 weekends out of 4 in those days. When we actually bought a caravan, well, we did caravan anyway, but it was handy having a caravan. I used to take Sarah away in the van, and we'd say Nottingham, we'd park up in the car park on the Friday night, and it meant she could get on court first thing on the Saturday morning, and then we were there for the tournament. So it made the expense a little bit easier, really, than having to go in hotels all the time, which people have to do now. I think it's difficult for all parents in tennis particular. I mean, in those days, it seems to have slackened off a little bit now. In those days, there was more and more tournaments for all age groups, and parents were prepared to travel. And there seems to have been a little bit of a change now. There's not as much travelling. People tend to stay local and play local tournaments. Um, so there has been a change that way. And tournaments tend to be long as well. You play maybe on a Monday, then they'll say come back on a Wednesday and come back on a Friday, and people can't do that. So it needs to be sort of weekend tournaments, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to make it easier for parents, really. Very much so, yeah. You'd often find each year of her playing and of her development, you'd come up against a girl. I remember we were at Wrexham one year with Sarah, and this girl travelled everywhere in her own helicopter, her parents' helicopter. So money was no object, really. It's interesting to know whether she's still playing or not. I don't know.
It is very difficult.
It is,
I mean,
yeah.
most of the time she did actually want us to support her, so we would stay and watch. But there were other times if you were there for a whole weekend, you'd wander off and have a coffee or a newspaper. But she did like us watching.
You've got to
Some
remember
people
as
don't.
well, it's a 10-year process, isn't it? From sort of 8 to 18, when they're really developing. So it's a lot of years, really. And a lot of parents expect them to be winning everything at 9 and 10, but it's not then, it's later on that's important.